We were pretty famous back in high school. Trust us!
Had a whole future ahead of us, but now we suck.
All that potential now is flowing in the aqueducts.
Through the sands of time, many did forget.
But now our time has come to resurrect. But a podcast?
Sad I know, but can you blame us?
We are desperate to be much more than high school famous. Hey, hello, welcome to High School Famous. We're gonna do our funny stories again, right, Matt?
Awesome intro. Yes,
hey, this is the podcast. It's the podcast where we probably.
If we don't know by now, this is our 40th episode. If we don't know what the hell we're doing by now,
but okay, the intro that you used to do, we kind of strayed away and said that maybe that's not our intro, and then we didn't do it for a long time, and now it's sort of back. So if you throw the intro to me, I don't know if I'm supposed to
do whatever you want. No, you can do whatever you want.
Hello, welcome to High School Famous. This is oh, I am.
Yep.
It's Matt and Sean's weekly podcast that you get to hear. I'm Sean.
Mm-hmm. I'm Matt.
Okay, finally you finished this thing off.
Okay.
Yeah. This is not relevant to anybody listening, but we were going to record almost 2 hours earlier, and I texted Matt. I said, "All right, I'm ready." And then 8 minutes later, he sent me the thing saying he was ready to go, and then I didn't respond for an hour because I was asleep.
Yup. I mean, you didn't respond for an hour and at least a half.
Well, hold on, let me look.
Oh, I'm doing it right now. We're getting technical as hell.
5:10.
Yep, and then 6:37.
That's an hour and 27 minutes. That's not even. That's
yeah. I'm pretty sure you didn't fall asleep the second I texted you. I'm pretty sure you had already been asleep for at least.
Oh yeah.
We'll say at least. We'll give me the 3 minutes. You fell asleep at least 3 minutes before I texted you.
Well, yeah, no one's arguing that, but you're talking about
enough sleep.
Oh, I see what you mean. So, but we're going off of when you texted me. How long after that you texted me, I responded, right?
I don't know if that's what we were saying now anymore. I lost track and was more so worried about how long you were actually asleep. So, yes, technically, you texted back an hour and 27 minutes after I texted you, but you were most likely asleep for at least an hour and a half, possibly a little bit more.
Well, this is also you assuming that I texted you back like the moment I woke up.
I assume you did.
Yeah, I did not.
Okay.
I think I woke up at 6:14.
Was it 2 moments?
Like 6:14. And
why,
I was like,
okay, so if you woke up at 6:14, why did you not text me back until 6:37?
Well, because if I woke up, I'm clearly tired, and I was like, had to get my bearings, and I looked at my phone and realized that you texted me, and I didn't see it. I'm like, why didn't I get buzzed about this, or why did I not see that I got texted until just now? And then I had to realize that I fell asleep because some other show on the same app that I was watching a show on was just auto playing. I don't even know what show was on when I woke up.
You're like, this episode of this show that I've been watching for 7 seasons prior has a lot of different cast members in it.
Yeah. But yeah. Now, of that show, I did not watch the first 7 seasons. I don't even know how much I've seen. But
you should not watch the 8th season until you've watched all the rest, because the 8th season's taking a different direction.
Well, I can kind of tell that from what I'm seeing, but it's because it popped up on my phone, alerted me that there was a new episode. I'm like, oh, a new one. I'll watch it. And then I've tried 3 times now and fallen asleep 3 times now.
Yeah, not because it's boring, but because Sean has bad time management skills with his sleeping.
I don't
know if that's ever been something somebody's said before about somebody sleeping.
I wouldn't even say it's bad time management when it comes to sleeping. I'd say it's I lack the ability to fight off falling asleep. I'm done for if the conditions are right, no matter what happens, I am out.
Well, I mean, if you look at it this way, depending on future circumstances, we are either approaching or past middle age. So we can just blame it on that.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though, this has been going on since there have been instances where I'm a teenager and this has happened.
what age of teenager? Trying to do the math, you may have been middle-aged at that point.
You think so?
Yeah, you may be in the late years of your life right now.
Whatever year.
I mean, you never know.
Well, whatever age we were when you were over at my house and I was playing a game and you looked like I fell asleep in the middle of playing a video game and you noticed because my car I was driving was no longer racing on the street or on the racetrack. I like veered off and so whatever that was. I don't know if we were 17 or 16 or
well, yeah. I guess it couldn't be either of those ages. Those couldn't be your middle age because then you'd be dead by now.
Well, when people say they're middle aged, are they saying on the exact number? Like
I do.
Well, I'm exactly halfway through life now. Yeah,
that's how I look at it. You're not You're not technically middle aged until you reach the halfway point.
Yeah, but you don't know what the halfway point is until you're dead. Right.
Exactly.
So you can't
the fun part.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
So let's say I was. I mean, yeah. If I was even 18, I would have gotten past my expiration date. If 18 was in fact middle aged for me.
Right.
So I'm a medical miracle.
Yeah.
I should be studied.
I mean, for multiple reasons, but yeah.
Yeah. Funny.
I mean, if you think about it, I mean, there's some people that are middle aged almost immediately after birth.
I know, that's pretty.
Isn't it weird? You don't really call babies.
A moment of silence for the folks that have passed.
All folks throughout history.
All of them. Everybody.
Yep. How long of a moment of silence? If you have to think about it, right? So how?
I don't know, but you didn't.
How long is a moment of silence for one person?
I don't know, but whatever it is, and whatever the equivalent would be for everyone in the human history, you did not give it enough.
Yeah. No, it's because I'm super disrespectful. But if you had to put a time limit on like what is a respectful amount of time to give one person a moment of silence, what did you think that should be?
I think
20 seconds. 30 seconds? Okay.
30 seconds is pretty solid.
So how many 30 seconds?
You're just sitting there for 30 seconds straight, silent. It's a long time.
Yeah. So if you wanted to give, if 30 seconds is considered a moment of silence, how many moments of silence, how many 30 seconds of silence would we have to give to, account for everyone who's ever died in the history of the planet?
Well, I'm sure it's billions, but
yeah, we probably wouldn't be able to make any noise for the I like me personally, I wouldn't be able to make a single noise for the rest of my life and beyond.
And still not be enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
But and especially because we're middle aged, maybe.
I mean, maybe.
But I did not say let's have a moment of silence, like an individual moment of silence for each person. Like it's like
you just want one moment of silence encapsulating everyone.
Yes. Yeah. One moment of silence that applies to everybody. So
all right, is everybody listening ready for 30 seconds of dead air?
All right. So should we start it at the
here's the beauty of it, Sean. I can just add it in post.
You're going to remove it or you're going to add it?
I can add it and I can add 30 seconds in post. Yeah. So we don't even have to partake in the 30 seconds of silence that everybody else is going to have to partake in.
That's true.
That we'll be forcing upon everyone else.
These are also the same people that could just turn it off and never listen to us again if we do that.
Right.
Like, they're also the same people. They won't even participate in an actual moment of silence for everyone that's passed away.
But they also have the ability to hit that 30-second jump forward button on most podcast apps.
Mine is set to 30 seconds.
Yep, there you go. Well, I'm not going to really do that. I'm not going to add it into post, and we're not going to sit here for 30 seconds in silence. What we are going to do, Sean, is induce much laughter as we continue with part, I think, 4
maybe
of the internet's most funniest stories.
Whoa. We're going to impart many laughter. Before we start, what is your skip forward and skip back increments on a podcast listen? What do you like?
I've never modified it at all. So whatever the default setting is, I don't even know what it is. I think it's 30 seconds.
Okay. My forward is 30. My back is only 15. Because usually once I kind of think I want to skip back to hear something again, it's not a full 30 seconds has passed. And so I don't want to re-listen to a whole lot.
Out of context, saying my forward is 30, my back is 15. In my head, that was immediately like, are these like ages different than yours that you would date? Like you're willing to go 30 years forward, but only 15 years back?
I mean, it would have to be. I mean, either way, we're dipping into we're no matter what, we're dipping into illegal territory. I think.
No, we're not, because 20 years back is 18.
Oh, sure. Oh, okay.
You're still looking at 23. You're still looking at youngest 23. I mean, depending on what you consider illegal.
Well, I would consider under 18, obviously.
Right. No. I mean, just whatever you consider your activities to be. Like, if certain activities would be illegal, that you would only do with a 23-year-old and not a 68-year-old.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, that took a whole weird turn. We don't have to keep going down that road. That's just a little deep dive into where my mind went.
And this is why you're middle-aged, Matt. This is exactly why you're middle-aged. So are you taking? Look, Matt did something fancy here. So he copied and pasted all the stories into a document, and then alternated.
So fancy.
He alternated the font color, so every other story is in red. But this does not indicate who's who. Do you want to be the red stories or the black stories?
I have so far always read the even numbered stories because we skipped the first story originally and jumped right into number 2, and I was the first person to read. So that's just the way we've been doing it. So I figure that's where we will continue to go.
Very well.
But I was very fancy. I don't know if anybody else has ever done Word document editing before. Or WDE as we call it in the industry.
Is that right?
Yeah, I did a little bit of that.
What industry is that? What industry calls it WDE?
The Word document editing industry, Sean.
Isn't it called word processing?
Like, if you want to dumb it down for everyone, that's fine. I mean, typically in the past, you've taken very strong stances on this podcast. You've taken a lot of very strong stances of things that I know you don't actually believe in.
This of all of them was probably the least hot button of any of them. It could have been like whether it's called Word document editing or word processing.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to make even the slightest things hot button here. Let's just dive into this. Because this was edited so nicely and pretty. I want to kind of get into it.
We're in the deep end now, so let's go head first.
Yeah. All right. So this story is called In Dreams. I've always had super vivid dreams, and it takes me a while after waking up to realize that they're not real. Sometimes it's a disappointing, but generally it's a disappointment. Okay. Sometimes it's a disappointment.
Not real dreams?
But, they're vivid. They're vivid dreams that they think are real. Sometimes it takes them a while to realize that they're not real.
To realize it didn't really happen.
Yeah.
The events of
sometimes it's a disappointment, but generally I just forget about it and move on. Now, in the 6th grade, I had one really close friend who I never actually got into a fight with. Okay. Interesting.
Every other friend.
Night, This was the one close friend that I never got in a fight with. All my other close friends constantly got in fights with.
Yeah, fisticuffs.
Mm-hmm. So one night I had a really vivid dream where my friend and I had this huge falling out over something that I can't even remember now. I was really good at holding grudges because I was not a forgiving child.
And I fought all my friends.
Yeah. So for 3 weeks, I completely ignored my best friend in anger to the point where she started crying in front of the teacher and he asked what was going on. I read this like, this is my best friend in anger. And this is like, this is my brother in sadness. Yeah. This is my brother-in-law. This is my best friend in anger. Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Yeah. I want to categorize my friends now.
Yeah, we should. So of course, as I'm telling the story, I realized the events were super weird and that it was all a dream. I fall silent.
My best friend in bed.
And I fall silent and just look at my friend who's still extremely upset and don't know what to say because I had fucked up so badly.
Hilarious.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so when they're relaying the story back to the teacher of this is the events that went down and this is why I'm upset, and they start to realize, oh, this is crazy. This obviously didn't really happen. Like, you were 3 weeks. 3 weeks you were pissed off at your friend, and you never ran the scenario. It says 3 weeks.
3?
Right? I have to relook. Yeah, for 3 weeks I completely ignored my best friend in anger.
Yeah.
Or were you just doing that? Were you doing the 3 thing to mock me, or were you actually questioning?
No, to mock you.
Oh, fuck you. Yeah, 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
So 3. But so for 3 weeks, you're running this scenario in your head, and not one time during those 3 weeks did you go, "Oh, wait, this does not compute because these weird things happened." But then when you're saying it out loud to somebody, then all of a sudden, oh, that sounds dumb out loud.
Well, here's why they didn't talk to their friend for 3 weeks. They're great. They're really good at holding grudges.
Yeah, but still, like. So basically what they're saying, what that's telling me is that they realized way early on that they had it wrong, but they're like, well, I'm known for being good at holding grudges. That's like my thing. I'm friend in grudges. That's my title.
Yeah.
So I gotta maintain.
6th grade, I had one really close friend who I never actually got into a fight with.
Period.
Yeah. But then hold on, my best friend in anger. So these
are 2 different people.
Yeah, well,
one's just a really good friend.
Yeah, and one's their best friends. So they're really close friend that they never got in a fight with, but their best friend they had. If that were the case, I would probably say that the other friend is the best friend. All right,
I do enjoy that sentence.
I'm going to move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Story number. Did you read the story number? Mine is number 29.
Nope.
For those keeping score.
Nope. I just said the title.
Oh. Sniffing candles with my best friend, who I may or may not have been in a fight with. Who
may or may not be my best friend in anger.
Yeah. So my best friend and I were in a supermarket, and that was a funny second line. Just a funny line break.
Yeah. Is now like actual supermarket would be is it one word or hyphenated or anything, or is it always been 2 separate words? I thought if it was like referring to a specific supermarket, it's one word.
I feel like it's one word. I think it's one word.
Yeah.
So, but I was expecting it just to say super something, like we were in a super this, and then I read the next line and it says market, but I was already in. So
you already put so much emphasis on super.
Yeah. Okay. So my best friend, my best friend and I were in a supermarket, and there were a lot of new candles. I guess it's candle season.
The candle shipment just came in.
Yeah.
Everybody was lining up for the new candles.
Oh, the new line of candles are out. They all smelled strange, so we started to think about names we could give them. Grandma's toilet cleaning agent. Why specifically? Why
the candles are already going to have. Yeah, and plus the candles are already going to be named.
Yeah. They're working harder, not smarter.
Right. And they don't even work there. They were just at a supermarket. They don't work there.
This I'm not sure what it's supposed to say. Or STH like this. Is that some abbreviation I'm not aware of?
Probably something. It's probably an abbreviation for something.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense. Or
we started to think about names we could give them. Grandma's toilet cleaning agent. Or STH like this. Whatever I guess we sniffed too much candles because we started laughing very hard and I lay on the floor and my best friend fell into pasta shelf.
into pasta.
Okay. Whatever I guess we sniffed too much candles because we started laughing very hard and I lay on the floor and my best friend fell into 2 pasta shelf, which made us laugh even more and louder, and people were already staring at us. That's a sentence, everybody.
Yep.
Suddenly my brother's best friend stood behind us, and from this day he's thinking that I'm taking drugs. I don't. I just sniff candles with my best friend to burst out in laughter. Do you think this was originally typed in another language and it didn't translate properly?
There is so much. Like it started off fine.
It did
until you hit STH.
Yeah, once STH came into the play, this was all over. So
yeah.
So after that, so this is whatever I guess we sniffed too much, which is there's no comma anywhere, and then 2 is only 1 O, and it's also too much candles, not too many candles.
Yeah, you know when you sniff too much candles.
Yeah, yeah. And we cause many laughter, you know.
Yeah.
Because we started laughing very hard, and I lay on the floor, present tense. And my best friend fell, past tense, into 2 pasta shelf. I'm guessing there was maybe supposed to be the pasta shelf.
Or a pasta shelf.
Or a pasta shelf, yeah. Which made us laugh even more and louder, and people were already staring at us, period. And then suddenly my brother's best friend stood behind us.
Yeah, he just...
Which, I guess...
He didn't even approach.
We didn't have to establish... Yeah, I know. He materialized right there. Because we didn't establish anywhere else that their brother's best friend was in the store already.
Yep.
But again, when the new candles come in, who's not in the supermarket?
But from this day, the past day that happened, he's thinking present tense that I'm taking present tense.
Taking currently taking drugs.
But
I don't.
From this day, he's thinking that.
Right. But I don't. I just
completely separate paragraph.
Yeah, separate line, double spaced, and then the next one is also double spaced down. I just sniff candles with my best friend to burst out in laughter. So this must be a regular activity.
Yeah, it makes it sound like drugs. That's what we do. That's what we do to laugh.
Yeah, I go to the supermarket to sniff candles to laugh with my best friend.
Yeah,
which to me, being on drugs would make more sense than that.
Yeah, I would rather take drugs once a year than go with my friend, I guess you, than if I were to, like, me and you would meet up once a year to go to a supermarket for New Candle Day and just sniff a bunch of candles and get crazy, where one of us will lay on the floor and the other one of us will fall into a pasta shelf. Which, by the way, why is the pasta anywhere near the candles?
Yeah. Well, it could be that they're laughing so hard that they just stumble on back for feet, and they find themselves crashing into the pasta shelf.
They fall back entire feet.
More than 1 full foot. And more than 1 full feet. We're forgetting a very important part of the candle sniffing experience. It's not just smelling them that causes the laughter. I'm sure it's creating the alternate names based on the smell, like Grandma's toilet cleaning agent or STH.
Yeah. The other part that would be weird is if suddenly your brother's best friend was stood behind us.
Yeah. Without any approach.
Yeah. And then we'd be like, look, we don't do drugs. We just sniff candles to burst out into laughter.
Whoa.
That is the sentence of a mad person.
Yeah. Also, I know you didn't actually accuse us of taking drugs.
We're just getting really defensive immediately.
We're just like, yeah. Hey.
It's like we know what you're thinking.
All of a sudden, your brother's friend is behind you, and you're laughing on the floor of the supermarket, and you're like, whoa, I'm not on drugs. Just because someone's standing behind you.
Where'd you come from?
Yeah. Where'd you come from? Yes, we are two people.
I would assume at that point I was on drugs.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, somehow I got on drugs.
What really happened? What really happened is this was a dream that was so vivid, it took me forever to realize that it didn't really happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All these stories are linked.
Matt, I am liking the title of your next story. I
am as well.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Literally, when you said that, I was reading it. And I'm like, yeah,
yeah.
This story, y'all. Let's get sensual with this one.
I'll just say before you say what it is, I'll just say this one hits home for me.
We might need to skip this story. This story, y'all, is called. I already regret that I said y'all. This story is called Skull Lover.
Yeah.
So I was sitting at a lecture when I feel like being stared at. What? Hold on.
I feel like being stared at.
I'm starting over because that is amazing. I thought I read it wrong.
No, that's what it says.
Sitting at a lecture. Yep. So I was sitting at a lecture when I feel like being stared at. And in the corner of my eye, I see this really handsome guy who's literally just staring at me.
Literally gave you exactly what you wanted. You've had that feeling, right? You're like, gosh, just someone please stare at me right now.
Yeah, I'm just like, I feel, with COVID and everything, I've just been home so much, and I haven't been stared at in so long. Okay, after I finish this, I have a weird thing about staring that I will get into after this story.
Okay.
So, all right. So he's literally just staring at me. I don't think much of it and continue to listen to the professor. After the lecture, the guy comes up to me and lays his hands on head, lays his hand on head, and I'm like, a heem?
I read that as like
heem. Heem?
I think
what
it's supposed to be
doing?
like ahem.
Like ahem. Yeah. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
And he stares me dead in the eyes and says, I've never seen such a gorgeous skull. And then he turns around and leaves. That
took a dark turn.
Yeah.
I mean, with this title called Skull Lover, I was, maybe thinking there was going to be something kind of eerie or creepy in this story.
Right.
But this is how I can tell these stories are 100% fabricated.
Yeah.
Who is going to walk up to somebody? What?
Yeah. My response to if anybody ever walked up to me and said, I've never seen such a gorgeous skull, my response will be, you still haven't.
Yeah. I was thinking the exact same thing. Yeah.
Also, how many skulls are you looking at that you can make that determination?
No.
That is messed up.
My whole life. Like, it would have been worse if he said, my whole life, or in my whole life, I've never seen such a gorgeous skull. Like, he's been doing this for years.
Yeah, so...
Full disclosure, being stared at, like the desire to be stared at is huge in the skull lover community.
Like they want that, or the people that are like the skull lover people want to be stared at?
Whoever's in that community, I don't know.
So are you blaming the victim?
I'm playing the blamed victim.
I mean, she's not technically a victim yet.
She's getting there. If she doesn't call the police, she's one step. She's potentially sealing her fate of being way past middle aged at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it should be easy to figure out who the guy is because, assuming that he's a student, he might just be some handsome guy that just goes into lecture halls and looks for skulls,
brings his laptop to take notes when all the other students are playing video games,
and lays his hand on head.
Yeah, that's a weird. So. He was trying to also like feel the shape of the skull.
Yeah. I mean, that's so like just being touched by a stranger in general, like even just like on the shoulder or something is just like, don't touch me.
This is a
somebody
weird thing.
To walk up to you and touch your head.
This is a weird thing because they started off by, well, I guess this is all based on a typo. This is all based on a typo. But the song started off with them basically saying, like, I really want to be stared at. And look, oh my gosh, there's this handsome guy. They're just staring at me. This is like the best day ever. And then they're like, oh, and then he laid his hand on head. And you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Totally changing tone.
You can look, no touch. You can you can't touch.
Basically, this guy two wheels too fast.
You see this? This is like a museum.
Yeah.
This body right here, this head, this gorgeous skull.
Yeah. I'm free to the public.
So let me go into two stories here. So
sure.
The staring thing sparked something, and the putting hands on heads thing sparked something. So for anybody listening who doesn't know, for a very long time I had dreadlocks that I let grow out to basically like you don't remember, that grew down to my knees actually. And so for the first thing, the staring thing, that resonated because what's weird is that whole when I feel like being stared at thing, I got so used to getting stared at when I had really long dreads because I used to wear them like up in a bun on my head, so it was just this big thing that looked like a bunch of like tentacles, like all like flying off my head and stuff.
When it's that big, it's no longer a bun; it's a loaf. You had your hair up in a loaf,
pretty much. So I was very used to people staring at me. I got super used to it. So it just to the point, like at the beginning, it was like, oh wow, people are looking at me, and I could notice it. After a while, I just got so used to it that it was just second nature that, yeah, people are looking at me because I have this crazy amount of hair on top of my head. So
the
weirdest
that's what you wanted. That's what you wanted.
No, I mean, I wanted to be stared at. I feel like being stared at, Sean.
Right.
So the weird
Are
thing
you a skull
was
lover?
once. Well, no. See, you're saying like the woman was the skull lover. The dude was the skull lover. She wanted to be. She felt like being stared at. The skull lover was staring at her.
That's true. You're right.
She's the. I mean, what do you call it? If he's a skull lover, what is she?
The skull
lover receiver. Yeah,
skull lovey.
Either way,
it's like it kind of sounds like say lovey. Skull lovey.
Yeah. So, anyways, to not make this a long story, once I actually cut all my dreads off, the weirdest thing was noticing people not looking at me anymore, and that was
you felt empty.
It was it was just it was just a super weird sensation to notice like people weren't looking at me anymore. And I was just like, and for that to be a weird feeling was like on top of that was weird. I'm like, why is it weird that I feel weird people aren't looking at me? Like it was just this whole like thing. It was an existential crisis, like running into a car with a bicycle.
What?
The last story we did episodes ago when the kid ran into the
yeah. That's right.
Bugs feel. So then the other thing, the hand on head thing, that happened to me a lot as well when I had dreadlocks, is people just touching my head or my hair without asking. That is such a violation that just like it's weird. But another thing that I kind of got used to, like it happens every once in a while. Well, my favorite was one time I did it, but they were like, "Can I touch your hair?" while they were actively touching my hair. Like, and how do you ask somebody if you can do like for permission for something while you're currently doing it?
Can I assault you?
Right. Pay no attention to the fact that I'm already assaulting you.
Let's be fair though. Like, depending on who it is, it was kind of fun for you, right? You're like, oh, this person.
No,
like this person touching my head.
Because that particular person was a very drunk woman.
Oh, that was okay. Oh,
and it was not. It was not a mutual exchange.
Like, well, yeah, you wouldn't touch their hair or head.
I wouldn't have touched her.
Oh, I got it.
I honestly don't even remember what she looked like. But it was just, it was more so like I wouldn't give somebody like that the time of day because they obviously have no like boundaries. If you're just willing to walk up to a stranger and touch them because they're slightly interesting to you, it's like
no boundaries. They are an endless person.
Yep.
You're a boundless, endless person. They go on forever.
That is where my similarities to this story end.
You've never commented on the beauty of someone's skull before?
No, that is seriously like I kind of want to now just to see what kind of a reaction I can get from somebody because that is a creepy shit to say to somebody.
Just
that is one creepy shit.
Get one creepy. Yeah. Try it. Try it without laying hand on head first. Just to avoid that part of it and just comment verbally on the skull and how gorgeous it is.
You have the loveliest skull.
Yeah. I've never seen such a gorgeous skull.
Here's me though. I'll even if I were to say it to somebody, I would at least even say it properly and just be like, I imagine that you have the most beautiful looking skull. And to me, that might be creepier to say.
I'm picturing your skull right now and it looks beautiful to me.
I imagine if your face had no skin on it.
Could you do me a favor? Could you remove your face? I yearn to see your skull.
All right. I think we've done way too much material on that story. Let's move on to the next story, Sean.
All glowed up. I'm all glowed up, people. Okay. After the final bell, my friend and I were walking to our buses after school through a crowded hallway. We were talking about childhood and reminiscing about old memories.
Yeah, that's the only kind.
Also,
How old are you guys that were like, we're talking about childhood and reminiscing? You're still in school.
Yeah,
Like,
that
wasn't that long ago.
If you're in a school where you know it's over when the bell is rung,
yeah,
you are a child.
Yep.
Okay. So we were talking about childhood. So yesterday we were talking about something that happened the day before. All those old memories from any moment from now and before and prior.
I like to talk about future memories and new memories.
Yeah. And a period of life that I have not yet reached,
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to talk about, I right now I talk about being, elderly.
Right. You know what's funny though is this whole we were talking about childhood and was it that part? Yeah, we were talking about childhood and reminiscing about old memories. Like at this point, they're not going to have a lot of childhood and old memories to really reminisce about. Like I was just thinking, I'm like, me and you do a lot of that. Yeah, me and you do a lot of that reminiscing and talking about childhood now, and I don't want to do it half the time. Like, why are they doing it at that young of an age?
Yeah.
We're talking about shit that happened 20 plus years ago, and we're just like, that's still pretty recent, right?
Yeah, right. That just happened. That's not really far away, is it?
It's not that old. Yeah, it's kind of sad that we're talking about high school.
That's because if you're like the final bell has rung and you're walking with your friend, wouldn't you be talking about what you're gonna do now? Like, hey, let's get together and blah 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 blah. Let's create old memories.
Shut up, Stacy. I don't want to talk about what we're about to do. I need to talk about what we've done already.
It's Stassi.
So you can't legally change your name yet, Stacy. You have to get approval from your parents.
But the final bell rung.
Just because you put a little accent mark over the A doesn't mean it's not legal.
Fine.
End scene.
And yeah. Okay.
All right, good. You've only read like 2 sentences.
I know. I got a lot to do here. Old memories. And we somehow started talking about which people became hot since middle school. Yeah. As opposed to the kids that were hot back in elementary school, when kids are hot.
Okay. Again, that's talking about present tense stuff.
I know.
Oh, I guess, and somehow we started talking. So they moved on from reminiscing.
How do we go from old memories to this? You and I, it's just stuff just happens.
And somebody was like, "Remember when David was gross? Oh yeah. He's so hot now. Let's talk about the other people that are hot.
Yeah, like us
since middle school,
Bethany.
So at minimum, they're in high school.
Yeah, because they're done with middle school now. They could be
at best. At best, they're in college and still taking the school bus.
And they go to a college that has bells that ring when class is over, and they walk through crowded hallways. So
it's a community college.
Okay, yeah. All right. Let's go on here. My friend mentioned this guy named Keenan, and I said, "Yeah, he is pretty hot now." And my friend practically screamed, "Dude, he glowed up so hard." Parentheses, glowed up means, I guess, like someone became attractive. You can't say, I guess. If you're defining what it means, you can't be like, I guess it means this. Right? Glowed up, which means, let me tell you, I guess it's like getting hot.
Yeah.
Anyway, right as she said that, she turned her head, and he was right behind us. My brother's best friend. Oh, I just ran into the pasta shelf. This is also in parentheses, this is so very cliche, but I swear to God, there he was.
I don't think that didn't need to be added at all.
No, because you already said he was right behind us, and then to say,
yeah. But let me emphasize, this is real.
Tell you again.
This part of the story is not fake.
This is so very cliche, but I guess he was right there. Anyway, right as she saw him, she screamed. So she screamed. This friend screams a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, she screamed, "Oh, he's right there!" And of course, he heard her because she screamed.
Yeah, and he was right behind you.
Right behind you, yeah. But it was so awkward, so he just walked past us looking down at his phone, and my friend fell on the ground from embarrassment.
Oh my God.
How are you assuming that him walking down the hallway staring at his phone is because it's an awkward moment, right? Yeah, everyone's probably walking staring at their phones all the time.
Also, this friend completely did this to herself, because if they were just like, if they were just having a casual conversation, oh man, yeah, Keenan got so hot, and she's like, dude, he glowed up so hard.
Yeah. Oh, he's right
Screaming that
there.
part. So Keenan probably heard, dude, he glowed up so hard. Didn't
Not
know they were
knowing that
talking
they're
about
talking
him at
about-
all.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
when she screamed, oh, he's right there, she did that completely to herself.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, she's an idiot.
She's the kind of chick that wants to be stared at.
Way to go, Bethany.
Straight up, she wants to be stared at because she's drawing a lot of attention to herself.
Yeah.
And of course he
And
heard
then-
her.
and then also-
yeah, she screamed it in his face.
Yeah. Yeah. And she also wants attention because she likes to collapse on the ground in embarrassment in front of in a
Right.
crowded, busy hallway. Someone probably tripped over her, by the way. And someone
Yeah,
who was staring at their phone tripped over her. Their phone flung and probably cracked the screen on the school floor.
So Keenan tripped over her,
Yeah.
hit his face on the ground, glow up, gone.
He glowed down.
Glowed down. I don't
He
know.
glowed down big time. He dimmed up.
Dimmed up.
He dimmed up.
It just reminds me we were talking about this was not on the podcast, but it's on a recording. When you were talking about you have, it's like some sort of a light that was on like a dimmer switch or something about your laundry room or something, and calling somebody like referring to somebody as the dimmer switch or something, or
Oh, what was that?
yeah. Damn, it reminded me of that, and I just reminisced it so badly.
You reminisced it hard. Like the final bell just rung and you started reminiscing about old memories.
Yeah, and I can't remember exactly what that was called, what we were saying, but
It's good that you brought that up then.
yep.
You're not having any idea what it's about or why it might be funny. Way to, that was smart.
I think it was just calling somebody a dull bulb or something.
Probably. Yeah, but who was it? Oh, I wish I could remember who it was.
Yeah, I'll find the audio clip and
Why is it on a recording? Why is it
talk
recorded?
about it again? But we did. There was a couple times where we just had some Zoom calls that I just recorded the audio of.
Oh, this was
for
this
no
recent?
reason. This was when we did a couple of Zoom calls a while back. Like
I'm
not
thinking
super
that-
recent, but like months ago.
I'm thinking this is something, back in, high school times or later, like a little bit later.
Who knows?
Wow, that's sad that I can't remember it already, and it was,
I can't
less than a year
properly
ago.
remember it either. So moving on, I'll just cut all that crap out.
I like to
no, I won't.
like to remember things proper.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's it? That was a good story.
All
I
right.
like that story.
Yeah, that was fine. That was fine.
Stassi and Bethany.
This one, it's not Stassi. It's pronounced Stassi.
It's Stassi.
This story is
STH.
called Chinese Class, which already sounds insensitive in some way.
There wasn't Chinese. You couldn't take Chinese in our high school, right? That wasn't a language offered, right?
No. I think we had the basics: Spanish, French, German.
Native American, I think.
Could you take certain Native American languages?
Yeah.
Interesting. I think it possibly depends on the place, like where in the country you go to school, because there's going to be higher concentrations of people in certain parts of the country. So I could see them doing like Chinese classes in like the coasts, like New York and LA and stuff, where there's a higher concentration of Chinese immigrants. But anyways, this story is called Chinese Class. I took Chinese at school as a freshman. On one particular day, of course, we didn't have anything to do in class since we had gone through the whole curriculum for the semester. So just this one particular day you didn't have anything to do? You're done with the curriculum, but just this one day we didn't have anything to do, even though there's no curriculum left.
And isn't every day a particular day? Like you just say on one day.
Yeah.
You're being redundant by calling it a particular day.
Like
It's
if
just my
the day
thought.
has
Just my thought.
significance, if
Well,
the
it
day
does
has
have
significance, then it needs to be particular.
Well, it did have significance because they didn't have anything to do in class. Every other day leading
Right.
up to it, they had stuff to do. So this
Apparently.
I would call it one peculiar day because every day is made up of particles.
Cool. So our teacher wanted us to watch a Chinese movie. I don't know why that sounds incorrect. Like it sounds like an insensitive way to call it, but I think that's just the correct way to call it. But it just, this movie's so Chinese.
We're in such Well, to describe it like that is probably what you're going for.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I'm making it more insensitive than it really
especially
actually is.
especially if you had like a negative connotation. You're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this movie's so
Like,
Chinese.
oh God. God, this movie is like, could this movie be any more Chinese?
Can I sit in the hall?
Yeah.
My parents provided a note. I need to be excluded from watching movies like this.
Yeah. All right. So our teacher wanted us to watch a Chinese movie in that free time, and I just so happened to watch one recently on YouTube. I offered to find it, and my teacher let me use her computer. That was connected to, I don't know why that seemed weird for some reason. That was connected to a Promethean board so that the whole class could see what I was doing on the screen. I don't know what a Promethean board is, but I guess it's just some sort of a monitor or some sort of a whiteboard thing. Or something.
It might be one of those smart
whiteboards.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it is.
Okay. After a couple of minutes of searching, I couldn't find the movie since I didn't know the exact title. So I logged into my YouTube account and decided to find it in my history.
Oh no.
When I opened my history, I was mortified since stupid me had forgotten that being the awkward virgin that I was at the time, I had searched up tutorials on kissing and making out that previous night. The whole class was hysterically laughing. My teacher was extremely confused, and I almost, because she didn't know what kissing was, or what?
Yeah, I guess.
She'd never seen YouTube before. And I almost cried as I scrolled past all the kissing tutorials. How many did you watch? And finally found the movie. I went back to my seat and didn't speak to anyone in class for the rest of the week. I still haven't lived it down. Well, until you die.
That would suggest that you are now speaking to people who were there, right?
Right.
Because they would continue to bring it up to you. That's how you don't live something down.
At least this one didn't say, and my teacher couldn't look me in the eye the rest of the semester.
The rest of the year. First of all, this is a reckless decision by the teacher, because it kind of sounds like the teacher wanted us to watch a Chinese movie in the free time, but didn't have one prepared. So
didn't prepare at all. But the teacher was going to know that they were going to have anything to do that day.
Hopefully, one of my students can point out a Chinese movie for us to watch and bring it to class.
Yeah.
And then just have them search YouTube for it. So this unscreened movie is just going to be shown to a class. Like, who knows what this movie is? The teacher has no idea what this movie is. And man, I wanted it so badly to say, my awkward, being the awkward virgin that I was, showed a history of virgin videos. I'm like, what does that even mean?
How to maintain a virgin?
How to maintain your virginity?
I mean, I guess a virgin video would just be any video that hasn't been watched.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's fine.
But there's no way that they could. There's no way they could have had those in their history then.
That's true.
Yeah.
Unless you you click on it and you immediately like hit the back button or go to a new video or something, which so you don't actually play it, but it shows up in your history because you clicked on it. I think that's probably how YouTube works.
I don't know if that's how virginity works.
No, but who is? I wasn't
you can't
saying that.
you can't click on it and go back and then it's still okay.
Dude, Jeremy came over and I clicked on it right away. Like I just started clicking on it
so hard.
I clicked on it so hard.
I was clicking on it, but I backed off. But I backed away.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So So
it
didn't happen.
I closed his browser. Like I was.
Yeah.
I'm like,
if you click on it but hit back right away, like it didn't happen. So
it didn't happen. Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool.
Those are Vegas rules.
So I'm gonna go back to Stassi's tonight, and I'm gonna click that and back away.
We're gonna reminisce about clicking on it.
This is so.
All right. Coca-Cola disaster.
Oh crap.
I should clarify that's the title of the story that I'm about to read.
Right.
That's not what clicking on it turns into. The slang kids are saying now is, he and I had a Coca-Cola disaster. I'm not a virgin anymore because of it. Chinese movie. Okay. Coca-Cola disaster. A couple years ago, my friends and I were going to see a movie in the theater at the mall.
Was it a Chinese movie?
I don't know. We're about to find out. Instead of paying the ridiculous movie theater prices for pop and candy, we decided to go to Target and buy some stuff. I mean, everybody does that, right? Don't you do that? Do you go to movies?
I mean, that's what we always did. We always would just bring in all of our because we wore such big baggy clothes in high school.
Yep.
We could sneak so much crap into the movie theater.
Yep. I brought my emotional support animal in a time where you had to sneak those in.
I brought my emotional support soda and snacks.
Yeah. This movie's sad. This movie's gonna make me cry.
Oh.
I need my snack.
And then by the end of the movie, I've killed all my emotional support treats.
Yep. So far, free advertising already. We've got Coca-Cola and Target.
Hey, there you go.
And
Chinese.
And Chinese. And a yet unnamed mall and movie theater. And
a supermarket.
This was when Coca-Cola started to put people's names on their bottles. My friend told me she had seen a bottle with my name on it inside of this bin of Coke. A bin of Coke?
Of this one.
Oh, yeah.
This one right here.
Yeah. Here, I've seen this bottle with your name on it, and here it is. But I put it back. Anyway, I was weirdly excited since I had gotten one with my name. I hadn't gotten one with my name on it yet. Salvador. After I had bought the drink, I opened inside Target. Oh, that's
very
risque.
inappropriate.
That's going to get this. Yeah, security's going to be called on you. Oh, I started clicking on that bottle of Coke right there.
Continue that. Hold on. Start that sentence from the beginning and read it till the end.
Oh, no. Okay. I was weirdly excited since I had... Okay, never mind. After I had bought the drink...
I opened.
What?
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize that was a comma, not a period.
Yeah.
Start at I opened.
Oh, no. Okay. Okay. I opened inside Target and it exploded everywhere.
Sentences out of context.
No. Oh man, that's the grist. That's an awesome sentence. All right. I opened inside Target and it exploded everywhere. All caps. Everywhere is all caps, everyone. Everywhere is in all caps. That means every square inch of Target was coated in whatever exploded.
Oh.
In whatever exploded inside Target.
I was about to say, I looked away from the story for a second because I was writing something down, and I'm like, is that still the story?
Oh, no,
I'm like, this is getting very bad.
That's just me. The pop, this is the story, though. The pop was at least 5 or 6 feet in diameter after explosion.
This is okay, I was about to say, I'm like, this is a gigantic bottle of soda. Like, she found the display bottle.
Yeah. Well, and I like how the friend
just took the whole thing.
The friend is like, hey, I found this one with your name on it. And it's the giant, it's as tall as a person.
In this crate. It's the Ark of the Covenant of Coke bottles.
It's not even that tall. It's in diameter. So imagine how tall this bottle must have been.
Let's do some math.
Let's be real. No, I'm not going to do math. And besides, which are you talking about? The widest point of the bottle? I'm sure you're not going to talk about the narrow part of the top as the diameter. Anyway, we're not really talking about the size of the bottle. Let's be clear.
I believe we're talking about the size of the puddle that it made.
But again, the spillage.
Do you think
diameter?
Like
I don't think it could cover that much area.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think a 20-ounce bottle of soda could do a 5 or 6 foot diameter
puddle?
Puddle. I mean, maybe.
I mean, if you are, I don't know why. I guess it's because the sentence was, I opened inside Target and exploded everywhere. I'm picturing this person is at least sitting on the floor, on the ground, maybe even laying down. So,
and here we're assuming that the pop is referring to the soda itself. The pop might be referring to the explosion.
You're right. Yep. Clicking on it often.
This makes it so gross.
Clicking on it until it pops.
Oh, they clicked, but they didn't back out.
Oh.
Come on, Sean. You got 2 sentences left. We
got 2 sentences left. Yeah. I watched as people passed the mess and made looks of disgust. That's a weird way to phrase it. Imagine if I had opened it inside of the theater. It would have not been shaken up at that point.
Yeah, probably would have had a chance to settle down a bit.
Yeah, imagine several minutes later opening it in the theater, it just would have made a shh sound, and then nothing would
Right.
have been spilled anywhere. And the movie going public would
That
have only
or-
been mildly annoyed at the noise.
That and honestly, like at
Unless
a
the
movie
pop
theater,
we're referring to
like,
is the soda.
right. So say it's the soda, which I'm sure it is. We're just being
I hope it is.
gross. We're just being gross.
Your skull is gorgeous.
Having it explode at the target obviously is the better of the two options, mainly because it's going to be a lot easier to clean up.
Yeah, because an employee will come and clean it up.
Yeah, well, no, just in general of just like
versus getting on seats
like
and carpet and
yeah. So you mop it up, you bring the floor, the floor cleaner through, boom, done. Movie theater, obviously, seats. There's different levels, so they're gonna to get clean under those seats is gonna be a pain in the ass. But however,
clean. Do you think they clean under the seats?
No, not at all. If you were gonna compare places that you could hide a bunch of a soda explosion, it's gonna be at a movie theater that's already probably at its maximum stickiness at any given day. Because I don't think they sweep them and they bring their little like rolly back, like
it's
whatever those vacuum things are that are just the rolly like
it's like a lint roller with a handle with a long handle you can walk with,
but less effective. So they'll run that through it, and then it's just gonna get sticky and gross and never get like actually properly cleaned up. I bet you they never really take like a carpet cleaner through any of that.
No.
Yeah, maybe like the main aisles and stuff, but not like in the actual theaters.
No, it's not under the seats or anything. Maybe down the walkways. Where in each theater they might do the main walkways.
Areas,
but they're not doing they're not going up and down the rows and going under seats or anything like that ever.
Right.
They pick up debris. They don't clean. They pick up leavings.
Right. Story is gross.
I like it.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's see. We're I don't remember how far into this we started, but we could cut it off here, or we could dive into this last oddly titled story.
This next one's a little longer, and then the next.
Right. Well, I like where this story went with us. I think let's call it let's call it a day.
Yeah. Well, we'll have at this rate we'll be starting at the one that's marked as number 34. We have up through 57 to do.
So it or not, there's a lot more of these to go.
There's at least we'll probably get at least a couple more episodes out of this. Which I mean, if the stories are dumb, but I think our conversations about the stories are at least slightly entertaining.
Yeah, what I was going to say is I hope that at least we are, for everyone else, we are making the stories slightly more funny or entertaining than they are by themselves.
Yeah.
That's the goal. But if you're enjoying just the stories as they are as entertainment from us as well, then that's good too. But the only possible negative outcome of this is that people think we're making the stories worse, like less fun.
I thought you were going to say we're making. I thought you were going to say we're making the stories up. I'm like, wait, no.
Oh, no. But maybe people out there are just like, God, I wish they would just read them verbatim. Like, just read them and shut up.
Just read them, move on to the next story.
Yeah.
No, we will not do that. That
would
make for a very crappy episode.
Once you got rid of your dreads, you really glowed up.
Oh yeah, I know. Looking back, there were so many things that I should never have done that.
I think
one time I literally said, why did nobody tell me how, I literally did say this. One time I literally said, why did nobody tell me how stupid I looked?
When you're in it, well, because also it's gradual, right? Like, so wait,
yeah.
Are you talking about dreads in general, or like the fact that they were so long?
I think it was towards the end when they were so long that it was kind of like they weren't big and bushy like on top of my head anymore. So my head they were like really flat on top of my head, but then big bushy dreads after that. I'm like, why did nobody tell me how stupid that looked? Like that looked bad. That was a bad look. And I think that was a big reason too why I wore them up so much. It was just because they didn't look that great when they were down.
I'm not super well versed on how dreads work as far as can they be trimmed, or do you have to just shave them off if you want to be done having dreads. Well, never mind.
I did.
I know if you want to be done
at one point. Yeah, you just shave your head. But at one point, I did cut
them,
over.
Right?
I cut over a foot off of them one time.
That's what I thought. So you could have trimmed them back to that length where they were sort of to the shoulder and maybe a little longer past the shoulder, and you can have it be that.
Yeah, they would have, but they were already like getting so kind of stretched out along my scalp that they were getting thinner and thinner and thinner.
Oh,
so they were never going to be that nice, big, thick, fat like I had them in the beginning. So and I had them for 9 years. It was time to move on. So
yeah, that's a long time for dreads.
The main reason now that I would never, because I've been like, after I got rid of them, I had been asked many times, would you ever get them again? Would you ever get them again? One, no, because my hair is thinning really bad. But the main reason I would never do it again is because I know now what I didn't know then about cultural appropriation and all that stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, no, if I had known that back, like really kind of understood that back then, I would have never gotten them in the first place. So.
Is that something that people focus on? Like, do people categorize that as cultural appropriation?
Hairstyles for sure, yeah.
Like dread specifically?
I mean, that is one of the hairstyles that can get flagged for cultural appropriation for sure.
No, I agree that it can, but I wonder, like, if let's say some white person has dreads now, do people even think anything of it?
I think some people probably do, and other people just don't care. But
it's more so when they walk around with a sombrero on top of it.
Well, it depends on how many cultures you're trying to appropriate that day, I guess.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
While also wearing a kimono.
I was going for the kimono next.
We're going for like the super, like the most specific.
Yeah.
Pick from a culture.
I got a swordfish pierced through my cheeks.
What culture is that?
I think it's something in some part of Africa. You know where they
specifically the swordfish.
Well, I mean, what other kind of fish could you pierce through your cheeks, really? But
I didn't even realize they did fish.
Well, yeah, I think it's those cultures where they'll have like in someone's lower lip, they'll have some big like wood disc or something put in. Yeah, like that kind of stuff. I've seen someone basically with a swordfish through their cheeks. Or some big thing. I think it was a sword. Maybe I'm making this all up.
Was the whole fish still attached on the outside, or was it just this? Okay.
Was this in a movie? Did I see this in a movie?
You might need to fact check yourself.
Yeah. I better look. I know what. Before we. I better sort this out now. Sword.
Sean, have you been having some very vivid dreams that you can't tell the difference between reality and dreams?
It was real, I swear.
Sean's not going to talk to me for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm too embarrassed. He was all
if you guys don't hear any recordings for 3 more weeks, you'll know why.
It's because of Keenan. It was because of Keenan. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out.
Yeah, you might have to do this offline.
That might have been a movie or a dream or a movie. I was watching a movie in my dreams. I don't know. Or it was
a movie called Fever Dream.
Yeah. It's called You're Going Nuts. You're ill. You're experiencing a lot of very intense symptoms, and you're hallucinating when you sleep.
Oh, it was in Inception.
Oh, so yeah.
It was a movie about a dream within a dream within a dream, but you were dreaming about the movie Inception, but you were dreaming incorrectly about it.
Yeah. Basically, it made me believe that the movie Inception was about something completely different.
Right.
And that I created the movie. Like the movie was my idea. The movie is something other than what it really is, and it was my idea.
Oh, but did you actually dream that, or did somebody make you believe that you dreamed that?
I mean, for me, it's my reality. Like it's what really happened. But whether or not it was it's something that was incepted, I've been incepted.
It's in it's your dream reality. Like in my to me, it's my reality of my dream. That's my.
Oh, so for me, it was a real
dream.
It was really the dream I actually had, but it might have not been. Maybe it was the dream someone wanted me to have, but I believe it to be my organic, actual dream. You know.
So it was like it was the dream you needed, but not the dream you deserved.
Yes. Let's make a movie called Dreamception. Let's make a knockoff movie called Dreamception. A parody movie. I think that's an awesome idea. Come on, you gotta.
Is it like
you gotta
the
give
whole
that
plot
to
of
me.
the movie? Is the whole like plot of the movie just like this? It's about this guy who's like talking about. I don't even know where I was going with this.
We have to hash it out. But you know how ridiculous. You know how ridiculous we can get with this.
With Dreamception,
with like the different levels of we go deeper and deeper and deeper, and it never ends. Dreamception, dude. I typed that down. Like
it gets very John Malkovich. It gets very being John Malkovich at one point.
Oh, that's weird. Being Dreamception. All right. Bye everyone.
Yep.
We are on TikTok now, which makes us even cooler. HS Famous. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at HSFamousPod. Email us directly at highschoolfamous@gmail.com. We have Patreon too, but you'll never go there. Altogether, our hearts beat as one.